Yeah, obviously it's a good result for us. I don't really know the details of everything that went on in the meeting, but regardless, I mean, I'm happy to get the points back and get refocused on just racing.
Were you expecting that, or did you were you resigned to the fact that it is what it was?
I just kind of just stayed out of it. I didn't really ask much questions about anything leading up to it or honestly after. It's really not my department. Just focus on my part, which is behind the wheel.
With the points penalty, did that change the way that you were going to race the rest of the season, given that you had 100 less?
I don't think so. I mean, because you're always trying to maximize your days on points no matter what. So, obviously that would have been even more important maybe, but I don't think it wasn't something, at least in the 2 weeks that I had, a 100-point loss. It wasn't something that I thought about while I was out there.
So I guess it doesn't change the way that you'll race now that you got it back?
No.
Okay.
How's it been for you guys as a whole at the organization with the crew chiefs being suspended for the last 2 weeks?
Well, thankfully with us, we have experience with it. With Kevin being a part of the team and Cliff not being here from last year, so we're familiar with it a little bit, but it's not easy. I feel like it's been a little tougher for whatever reason this year, just the communication and whatnot. Maybe just because it's earlier in the season than we had it happen last year. But excited to get these next 2 weeks done and then get Cliff back on the box.
Going back to COTA, there's been a lot of discussion about the respect level, the restarts, things of that nature, being a part of it, and then obviously maybe watching some of it back. How do you feel about the way that things played out at the end?
Yeah, I mean, so I was laps down for majority of the restarts, and even the final restart, I was dead last in the restart. So I just kind of, I wasn't going to go pile into it. So I just was going to take whatever I could get with people, crashing, and somehow though half the field crashed, and I went from 32nd to like 14th. So it's wild when you're that guy in the very back watching them all fan out into one. But I think it's just a product of these cars and where the restart zones are. The cars, it doesn't happen in Xfinity quite as bad. It didn't used to happen because our cars were not nearly as tough. Now you can blast through somebody and your car's fine. So, I mean, it just, I guess, I wasn't a part of it again, but it sounds like, if you're not the guy hitting and moving people out of the way in front of you, you're the one getting moved out of the way and spun out. So I think that's where a lot of the aggression comes from, and the cars are just tough.
On the COTA stuff, the restarts and things like that, what do you think of the unlimited overtime attempts at road courses?
Well, selfishly, I loved it because I got to lead lap because of it. But I don't know. I don't really have an answer or an opinion on that. I think there's other things that we can do to make it where we wouldn't be put in that situation again. I think looking at moving where the restart zone is, whether that be maybe the alternate start finish line at some of the tracks, not all of them, not all the road courses, but just moving it to where it kind of funnels out a little bit and thins out just a little bit by the time you get to turn one, and then I don't think you're going to have guys able to go 6 wide and just crash through each other in front of them. So I just think looking at stuff like that, which I'm sure NASCAR is looking at, but I don't know how quickly those decisions get made.